Welcome. In this video, we're going to be looking at example 5 in measures of center and spread in your MAT043 workbook. Example 5 uses Excel to calculate our measures of center and spread. So you can see here on my screen, I have example 5 already pulled up in Excel. For our information, it says one night at Wake Medical Center, 10 babies were born with the following weights in pounds to the nearest tenth. Use Excel to calculate the measures of center and spread, and then it gives us our weight: 5 1/2, 6 2/10, 10, 6 7/10, 4 2/10, 5 8/10, 6 9/10, 7 3/10, 8 2/10, and another 8 2/10. Okay, so you can see on mine, I've put those in a list. Each one in its own cell. That's the way you have to do it for Excel to calculate. They can't all be listed together. So the first thing I like to do when I'm working with data is put it in order if I can. So I'm going to highlight my cells and go over here to sort and filter. And I'm just going to sort that smallest to largest. And then Excel puts that in order for me, smallest number to largest number. So now let's look at calculating the mean in Excel. So mean, remember, is the average of the numbers. If we were doing this by hand, we would add them all up and divide by how many we have. Excel will do that for us with using the Excel function of average or formula. So equals, and then we just need to type out average. Then I'm going to do parentheses. And then we're going to highlight all the cells that our data is in. End our parentheses and hit enter. And so our average is 6 9/10. Okay. For median, okay, remember that's our middle piece of data. Again, Excel will find that for us. So equals, and then type the word median. Put your parentheses, highlight our data again, and enter after I end that parentheses. And our median is 6 8/10. Okay. Now mode will not be calculated in Excel. You're going to have to find this yourself. Remember, mode is the number that happens most often. So looking at my list here, the only number that is repeated is 8 2/10. So that is going to be my mode. I'm just going to type that in. Okay. And then for standard deviation, we're going to have Excel calculate that. Remember, that's on average how far our data points are away from the average. But Excel is going to do all those wonderful calculations for us. So equal, and for standard deviation, ST DEV, and remember we do the one that is .S. Okay. That's because we're looking at a sample, not the entire population. It's for this. Okay, so parentheses, and then highlight our data, and enter after I put in that parentheses. So our standard deviation, 1.6377. Now all of our other values, even our data, was rounded to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to have Excel round that to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to decrease my decimal. So standard deviation of about 1 6/10. Now this was not on the example, but I'm going to add the range. So remember, range is the difference between the highest and the lowest number. Okay, so that's just a subtraction, and you're going to have to click on the cells to do that. You can't type in range or anything for Excel to calculate it. So just equals, and then I'm going to click on my highest number, my 10, minus our lowest number, that 4 2/10. And since I put them in order, those are really easy to find. Enter. And that will give us all of our values, all of our measures of center and spread that we were looking for example 5. If you have any questions, let me know.